Well, people, it is Thursday. Happy Thursday, February 12th of 2026, Abraham Lincoln's birthday. And like you, I have been waiting to see if they were going to find Nancy Guthrie's, to see if she was okay, to see if there's going to be breaking the story. We'll see. We'll follow up. Because if it happens today, which is Abraham Lincoln's birthday, that would be mind-blowing. I mean, mind-blowing. Now, I ran into a story last night where 19 monks, beginning on October 26th of 2025, all the way to February 10th of 2026, they went from Fort Worth, Texas, to the Lincoln Memorial for a peace walk. A peace walk. There's a scripture out that says in the last days when they say peace, peace, there'll be sudden destruction. When I get through showing you this video, you're going to be like, whoa, it's amazing. It's amazing how relevant that biblical passage is. And how did all this come together in that we have 19 monks? They walked 2,300 miles, a 108-day journey. I can't wait to get into it. Praise God for whom all blessings flow. And the glory is in the story. Let's just begin. Abraham Lincoln. He was 56 years old when he perished, 56. Remember yesterday when I talked about that 56 and there was this possible ransom for $56,000 in relation to one Bitcoin, and I took 56,000 divided by Nancy Guthrie's age of 84, and I got 66666, the B system. That was astounding. The $56,000 divided by her age is 666. Well, that 56 has a lot of another significance because Abraham Lincoln was 56 years old when he died. And then I brought out in other videos that King Charles's coronation was on May 6th, when that one guy was on the golf course with all that ammo and whatever on the golf course back in the day on September 15th of 2024. They caught this guy in the bushes. He was between the 5th and the 6th hole. They thought he was going to take out Trump back in the day. What else do I have? Oh, well, that's enough. I just want to give a little basis to this thing because there's some numbers speaking to this moment. Let me just start. It's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. But yeah, happy birthday, Abraham Lincoln. He was 56 years old. That's a big number. Now let's look at this peace walk.
2,300 miles, 108 days, and 19 monks with a powerful message. It's the walk for peace that's captivated the country, and finally the meaningful journey is coming to an end at the steps of the Lincoln Memorial with Aloka the peace dog in tow. Our Selena Wang has looked back at their travels and all the hearts they touched along the way.
Today marked the final step in a painstaking and closely watched 2,300-mile journey. 19 Buddhist monks dressed in saffron-colored robes, their fabric rippling in the chilly air of our nation's capital as they approach the Lincoln Memorial, capping an end to a very long walk for peace. Hosting a peace gathering and meditation session.
May you be peaceful. May you be free.
And a message given by the Dalai Lama's niece on his behalf.
May their walk help sow the seeds of greater peace, understanding, and compassion in the United States and beyond.
Their simple message to cultivate inner peace began in Fort Worth, Texas 108 days ago, a sacred number in their tradition representing spiritual completion. Some of the men walked in socks, some without shoes at all, to connect to the moment. Early on, their journey was threatened. In Houston, a crash involving their escort vehicle along the highway injured 2 of the monks. One even had to have his leg amputated, but still they carried on. From Mississippi to Virginia, through the rain and the snow, each stop along their stoic 2,300-mile journey bringing awe.
With everything going on in our nation right now, they have provided my spiritual home. They've given me hope.
Blessings to children.
Thank you so much.
And comforting the sick, oftentimes leaving supporters in tears. Leading the way, their rescue dog Aloka. The group oftentimes met by...
Did they come through your town? If they did, I want to hear it. What was your experience? What do you think? Talk about a caravan. Look at that thing. Wonder how many cities they went to. But yeah, people, this is deep. Now, although it was 108 days, and that's sacred of completion for them. As soon as I heard the 108 last night, I thought about JFK, because on May 29th of 2025, we celebrated the 108th birthday of JFK. Now that's 108 again is completion for them. Believe it or not, I believe that's also significant in our times. There is a strong possibility that Donald J. Trump will be unalive before JFK's 109th birthday. I believe this thing is symbolic, it's deep. 19 monks, you know, in Gematria, I'm going to show you, 19 means chaos. And 2,300 miles. Well, I took 2,300 and divided by Kennedy's age. JFK died at 46 years old. 2,300 miles divided by 46 gives you 50. We got 50 states in the union, people. Are they speaking? From Fort Worth, Texas, JFK was unalive in Texas, all the way to the Lincoln Memorial. Didn't Dr. King do his I Have a Dream speech on the Lincoln Memorial? It's deep. All these connections, my mind was just going crazy. Put it together, and I want you to see it. And believe it or not, I connected it to George Orwell. It's deep. Just give me a chance. We're going to put it together. We're going to put it together. Now, I think I covered everything. Let's just get into this thing. I don't want to miss nothing. But yeah, it's deep. Yeah, well, the George Orwell connection is this. George Orwell, people, who wrote the book 1984, that dystopian book. George Orwell was born in Matahari, Bengal, India. And that is the home where Buddhism originated. What a connection. And God gave me that a few days ago. And it was amazing how when God was speaking to me about George Orwell the other day, then last night I see these 19 monks. Woo! Now, let's go down the rabbit hole because it's speaking. I say it's speaking. Dr. King spoke on August 28th, 1963, I Have a Dream. August 28th, 1963, I Have a Dream, where he talked about the mountaintop, right? August 28th, 1963, right there. February 10th, 2026, Peace March ended. The difference is 65 years. 62 years and 514. What is 514? 514, that's when Israel became a nation. Aren't they trying for peace? Oh yeah, we're gonna go there. And how about John Lennon? John Lennon wrote that song, Imagine, October 11th, 1971, right? Although I got a problem with those words in the song Imagine, that's another day, but imagine. A world of peace, right? Pearson, what kind of issue you got with his, well, he says, imagine there's no country. That's what he says, right? No heaven, no hell below us. I got a problem with that. We'll talk about it later. October 11th, 1971. Take October 11th. What we got here? October 11th, 2026. Imagine John Lennon anniversary. October 26, 2025, they started the Peace Walk. The difference is 11/22. JFK was popped on 11/22. Tell you, boy, chaos. They had 19 monks. 19 means chaos. So does 46. JFK died at 46. George Orwell died at 46. George Floyd died at 46. I want you to see this thing. Walk for Peace. Walk for Peace comes out to 64. Barack Obama is 64 years old. Also come out to 53. That's February 22nd. 222, that's part of the beast system. And 628, J.D. Vance got a book called J.D. Vance, Vice President, has a book called Hillbilly Elegy. It came out on 628. Give you a little context. Now look, what date did the Walk for Peace start? Again, it started on 10/26/2025. Take 10/26/2025, Walk for Peace. February 10th, it stopped. The difference is 322, Skull and Bones. Also 108 days, just like JFK. He's 108 years old. Also 316. It took him 3 months and 16 days. Well, Christ, John 3:16 talked about how Christ sacrificed his life, 3:16. Are there hidden meanings here? 10/26/2025, Walk for Peace began. July 13, 2024, that's when Trump got hit in the ear in Butler, Pennsylvania. The difference is 1 year ago and 3:16. 3:16, again, like John 3:16, sacrifice. Go down the road. 10/26/2025, March for Peace started, versus June 14, 2025, Trump's birthday. The difference is 4/15. Abraham Lincoln died on 4/15. Is all this connected? Abraham Lincoln, there's your receipts, 4/15. Abe Lincoln died on 4/15. What else we got? During the Walk for Peace, what day was the car crash? They had a car crash on November 19, 2025. All right, they had, remember their lead car, the escort car. So 11/19/2025, right there, they had a car crash. On May 29, 2026, that's the anniversary of JFK's birthday. The difference is 6/14. Trump's birthday is 6/14. So the day of the crash date versus the anniversary of JFK's birthday is Trump's birthday? Come on, man. There's your receipts. May 29th. I know it's a lot of numbers, but I want you to understand how they speak it. It's a story in this thing. May 29th, 2026, JFK's next birthday. October 26, 2025, they started the Peace March. The difference is 2/16. August 4th is the 216th day of the year. That's Barack Obama's birthday. I already showed you the 64. Barack Obama is 64 years old. Is this about him? When did Israel become a nation? May 14th. There's your receipts. There's your receipts. Israel became a nation. So let's take that. May 14th, 2026. Anniversary of Israel becoming a nation. October 26, 2026. Well, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that because it's the 5. Okay, let's go back. Drawing board, Pearson. Let's see. Okay, here we go. So let's look at it like this. Israel became a nation. Anniversary, May 14, 2025. October 26, 2025, that's when the Peace March began. The difference is 165. The 165th day of the year is June 14th. That's Trump's birthday. Israel, Trump, Lincoln, Kennedy. Do you see it? Think about all the videos I've been doing the last few months. We're coming in toward the end. Like I said, if you take two hands and they're both progressing and this hand stops, this one keeps going, boom, it's going to happen. At some point, Trump will be unalive. That's what these videos are showing you. They're telling, they're speaking to us. I don't believe this peace mark is coincidence. It couldn't be, because they do future past. John Lennon connects to it, the song Imagine. Dr. King speaks to it because he was at the Lincoln Memorial. Well, they stopped their peace march 2 days ago at the Lincoln Memorial. Come on, man. It's all speaking. Let's go to the next one. Texas became part of the United States December 29th. Texas, they started in Texas. They started their march. Take 1029, well, that's 12, my bad. Texas became part of the United States on 12/29. So take 12/29, 2026, right here, from February 10th. That's when the Peace March ended. The difference is 46 weeks. JFK died at 46 years old, y'all. So you mean to tell me the anniversary of Texas, where they began the march, and then subtracted from the ended in Washington, D.C., is exactly 46 weeks? Yeah. 46 weeks. Kennedy died at 46. What date did Washington, D.C.? Yeah. Yeah. So that was Texas. You know what? Let me say it again. So all this was Texas. Texas, my bad. Let's just say it again. Texas was founded December 29th. And you see how that came out. Texas anniversary from the date it was founded to the day that the Peace March ended in Washington is 46. Okay, now, DC was founded July 16th. Look at that, July 16th. Let's see how that fares out. July 16th, 2026, Washington State, from the day that the Peace March ended, the difference is 5-6. There's that 5-6 again. Lincoln was 56 years old when he died. You see how it's all connected? They just asked for $56,000 for Nancy Guthrie's ransom. You see all that? Look, people, these are not they couldn't be coincidences. Now look at this. July 4th, 2025, America's last birthday. February 10th, Peace March ended. The difference is 222. The beast system. The beast system. All right, we're almost done. Benjamin Netanyahu was here. Is he still here in America? I don't know, but he was here yesterday in Washington, visiting Trump. Look at that. October 21st is his birthday. He's part of the peace negotiation, right? October 21st, his birthday this year, versus what? October 26, 2025 is when the Peace March started. The difference is 5/14. Israel became a nation on 5/14. These are mathematical improbabilities. I know it's a lot, but I want you to understand. The Bible said, when they say peace, peace, who are they? I'm showing you all the people involved. The monks, Donald Trump, Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu. They took out Lincoln and Kennedy. Does that sound like peace? John Lennon wanted peace. Dr. King wanted peace. All these numbers connect to it. That's why it took me so long to do it this morning. February 10th, 2026, the Peace March stopped. October 21st, 2026, Benjamin Netanyahu's birthday. The difference is 8/14. What happened in 8/14? Back in the day, on August 14th, the Japanese government accepted the Allied surrender of World War II. 814. Talking about WAR, right? And now let's segue into George Orwell. Remember, Buddhism originated in India. These are 19 Buddhists who walked 2,300 miles. Well, guess what? George Orwell was born in India. That's the connection. Now listen to what he said about the future in a dystopian society and how it would be.
Our world, there will be no emotions except fear, rage, triumph, and...
In our world, he says, this is how it's going to be in the future.
Our world, there will be no emotions except fear, rage, triumph, and self-abasement. The sex instinct will be eradicated. We shall abolish the orgasm. There will be no loyalty except loyalty to the party. But always there will be the intoxication of power. Always, at every moment, there will be the thrill of victory, the sensation of trampling on an enemy who is helpless. If you want a picture of the future, imagine a boot stamping on a human face forever. The moral to be drawn.
He said, don't let it happen. Does that sound like peace? Now look, George Orwell was born June 25th, 1903. June 25th, 1903. He died January 21st, 1950. The other day I was watching the video and the Holy Spirit spoke to me. He said, Pearson, these dates are significant. Now watch this, watch this. June 8th, 1949 is when George Orwell wrote the book. Remember? Dystopian Society, 1984. Now look at this. June 25th, 1903, George Orwell was born. February 10th, 2026 is when the Peace March ended at the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. That's 122 years ago and 722. What is 722? That's when Abraham Lincoln took his last breath. It's so deep. Again, you take George Orwell's birthday, literally, and subtract it from the day that they ended the Peace March, 19 Buddhist monks, 108 days, 2,300 miles. Subtract the day they ended versus George Orwell's birthday. The difference is 122 days and 722. And at 7:22 a.m., that's when Abraham Lincoln took his last breath. Now, let me show you another breakdown, then we're going to be done. Check this out. June 8th, 2026. June 8th, 2026 is the anniversary of George Orwell's book, 1984. October 26, 2025 is when the Peace Walk began. The difference is July 13th. Trump got hit in the ear in Butler, Pennsylvania on July 13th. June 8th, 1949, the book, George Orwell, 1984, was published. January 21st, 1950 is when George Orwell was born. The book date and the birthday let me get that right. June 8th, 1949 is when the book was published. January 21st, my bad. I know it's a lot, but I'll get it right. January 21st is when George Orwell, that was his anniversary of his birthday. This is the published date June 8th, 1949. The difference between George Orwell's anniversary birth date versus the day that he published the book. Basically, what I'm saying is that George Orwell died 7 months and 13 days after he published his book. George Orwell died 7 months and 13 days after he published his book. That was the anniversary of his birthday. And again, on July 13th, that's when Trump got hit in the ear in Butler, Pennsylvania. Does that sound like peace to you? Now look at this here. January 21st, 2025. What happened on this day? January 21st, 2025. That's when Trump brought all the tech CEOs out to Washington, D.C. Remember that? June 8th, 1949 is when 1984 book was written. 75 and 713. 713, Trump got hit in the ear. What is 75? The 75th day of the year is 3/16, March 3/16. March is 3/16, like sacrifice. I know it's a lot, but I just want to give you perspective. I should have went from left to right, so I did this the wrong way. But yeah, this is fascinating, people. This is fascinating. And from the time that this is what God showed me 2 days ago, kicked all this off. January 21st, 1950. January 21st, 1950. Watch this. January 21st, 1950, that's when George Orwell died. January 21st, 2025, that's when Trump did what? On January 21st, 2025, the day after his inauguration, President Trump held a meeting with top technology leaders at the White House. This is what got me. Pearson, what I'm telling you is this. Exactly 75 years after George Orwell's death, Trump brought in all these CEOs to help build an international tech infrastructure. George Orwell's death date, January 21st, 1950. January 21st, 2025. Trump brought all them tech people in here. And what is 75? The 75th day of the year is March 16th, like 3/16. Ain't gonna be no peace. That's the false 666 revelation. Everything's come together. I apologize, a lot of information, but I just marinate on it. They're telling us we're going into the dystopian society. God bless.